GTA Online lobbies can be hostile places, with one-shot weapons and rampant weaponized vehicles. For those of you with a bloodlust, public sessions are a great way to blow off some steam with some PvP action. If cars are your thing, then GTA Online offers plenty of PvP-worthy cars that can be used for defense as well as offense. For all the skilled drivers out there, I'm listing the best cars you can take to any PvP battle and come out on top. My name's Dan, and I'm an old grumpy gamer. If you are addicted to the driving mechanics of GTA Online, I don't blame you. Some players like driving cars so much that they would rather take their trusty car to battle than a tank. Luckily, Rockstar has added plenty of cars to the game that can both protect and attack. My PvP car list won't include any bikes, jets or helis, so this video is going to be a treat for car lovers. We don't clickbait, so let's jump straight into today's video. The Heavy or HVY Nightshark falls in the defensive category when it comes to PvP. So if you're up against vehicles with overpowered missiles, Mark II, then the Nightshark can soak up to 27 missiles. That's more than the missile capacity of a Mark II. When the oppressor runs out of its missiles, just chase it down and get your sweet revenge. Even if you're actively fighting with another player, you won't be a sitting duck inside the Nightshark either. If your opponent is using a non-armored vehicle, then Lord have mercy on them. The front-mounted machine gun of the Nightshark can take down most unarmored cars if you shoot at them long enough. The Nightshark can reach speeds of up to 104.75 mile or roughly 168 k's, which is enough to get out of most sticky situations. Speaking of sticky situations, the best tactic I recommend for PvP using the Nightshark is throwing sticky bombs out the window of this bomb-proof behemoth. If you time your throw and detonation just right, you can take down players on foot and in cars. And once you master the sticky technique, you can even take down Mark II griefers and jets. This bad boy costs 1,245,000, which is not bad for all the protection it gets you. If you want to turn this armored SUV into a formidable PvP machine, then I recommend practicing the sticky bomb technique. But if you're up against a vehicle with unlimited missiles or a helicopter, you may want to switch to the next car on the list. And what's better than having explosion resistance? Missile lock-on jammers, of course. When it comes to PvP, the explosion resistance and missile lock-on jammers of the Buffalo STX really come in handy. The STX is one of the few PvP-worthy muscle cars in GTA Online with excellent defensive capabilities. It's a complete package. Speed, handling, explosion resistance, and most importantly, the Amani Tech missile lock-on jammer. This vehicle single-handedly makes vehicles with homing missiles useless in a fight. So if you're up against anything with homing missiles, then call your STX with the Amani Tech upgrades and watch your enemies tremble with fear, or at least waste their ammo. It can handle up to 11 homing missiles and 3 RPGs, which buys you enough time to take your shot. The STX can also be equipped with machine guns, which work similarly to the machine guns on the front of the Nightshark, so you can spray unlimited rounds at your enemies with these bad boys. The Buffalo STX is super fast despite heavy armor, and you can go up to 126.25 mile or a little over 203 k's. And if you're being chased by a group of players, the unlimited slick mines of the STX will get them off your back pretty quickly. But if you want to really unlock the PvP potential of this amazing car, then I highly recommend learning the bomb throw technique. Since weaponized vehicles with homing missiles can't lock onto you, they are sitting ducks against any sticky bombs you throw anyway. A well-timed sticky exploding close to your opponent's non-armored vehicle is a done deal. Once their vehicle's destroyed and they're on foot, you have to watch out for the minigun because your opponents can shred you if you're too close. The Buffalo STX normally costs 2,150,000, but if you have an agency, you can get it for the discounted price of 1,612,500. You'd be surprised how this unsuspecting car can wreak havoc on other players when used properly. Right, we're done with the defensive PvP cars, and our first fully offensive PvP car on the list is the Scramjet, or the Source Machine for my fellow Nitrix Warlord fans. The Scramjet holds up to 30 homing missiles with excellent tracking capabilities, but but the standout feature of this car is its jumping ability, which lets you launch the Scramjet in the air and then use the boost to dodge enemy fire. The jump and boost combo is unique to the Scramjet in GTA Online, and in the hands of a skilled player, the Scramjet can be difficult to counter. For the most part, you just have to be within roughly 225 meters of your target to lock onto them and blow them out of existence. PvP against other cars doesn't get more convenient than this. The Scramjet does have a slight delay between shooting each rocket, 1.5 seconds I believe, so you can't really spam your missiles. You will instead have to get close enough to trigger the missile lock and use your supply of 30 homing missiles wisely. In case you run out of missiles, you still have the dual machine gun set up at the front, and on top of that you will have access to drive-by weapons while sitting inside the Scramjet for maximum firepower. Using the Scramjet for PvP can be tricky because at some point you'll have to dodge enemy weaponry yourself. With its top speed of a whopping 137 mile or 220 k's, the Scramjet can be difficult to control due to those skinny tires. So instead of trying to drive away from enemy fire on the ground, you can simply launch into the air and hit the boost button and disappear. Now, keep in mind that you will need some practice with the jump and boost combo because your trajectory is going to be random to say the least. Once you launch into the air, use the airplane controls to stabilize your car and to land it upright. There are no countermeasures for Scramjet, so apart from jumping at the right time to dodge rockets, you can also use the flare gun to deflect heat seekers. One direct hit from a missile or RPG is going to blow your fancy car up. I must say that flare gun is not the most reliable method to detect homing missiles, so use it at your own risk. The Scramjet can be yours for $4 million even, and it may seem like a lot, but the next entries are going to make it look affordable. Now, I know I said there won't be any planes or helis in this video, but the Deluxo is an exception because it's primarily a car that can fly and hover. Based on the DeLorean from Back to the Future, this car is capable of both ground and air combat. Deluxo missiles are some of the most effective in the game, often compared to the Ruiner 2000's missiles when it comes to tracking. Getting a lock on a ground vehicle with the Deluxo is all you'll need to get rid of them, but it can be tricky when fighting other weaponized vehicles in the air. The Deluxo also comes with a machine gun that may come in handy on the ground, but when in flight mode, no one ever uses it. The best part is the Deluxo behaves similarly to a regular car in the air when it comes to drive-by weapon usability. You can use guns and even sticky bombs to take out the enemy if you run out of rockets mid-air. The ground speed of the Deluxo is 114 and a bit mile per hour, or about 184 k's, which is average at best. But let's face it, you don't buy a Deluxo to drive around, you buy it when you want to blow up some Mark IIs. When in the air, the Deluxo is much more maneuverable than any plane or helicopter, so you can easily turn and lock onto them before they lock onto you. Mark IIs are a different story, and you have to get creative when fighting the broomsticks though. The hitbox of the Deluxo is not in the middle of the car when in the air, so it's easier to dodge homing missiles with the right technique. The method I use when the enemy locks onto me in a Deluxo is I wait for the missile to get close, then do a 360 spin while increasing my altitude. This method effectively dodges missiles from a Mark II most of the time. You can also use the flare technique to deflect missiles, but with lesser reliability. The Deluxo costs $5,750,000, but at this price, you wouldn't expect it to blow up after a single missile hit. So on to the next one. The Toreador is the holy grail for experienced PvP players in GTA Online. There are no fancy tricks you need to learn when operating the Toreador, and you can take your enemies head on. Most griefers would automatically choose a different target once they realize they're up against this death machine. The unlimited missiles, which convert to torpedoes when in submarine mode, and the explosion resistance give the Toreador a unique advantage over other PvP tools in the game. Oh, and did I mention the Toreador has rocket boosters that work both on land and underwater. Once you get this machine, you will not need any other PvP vehicle. This fella can handle up to 6 homing missiles and 2 RPGs, making it one of the most durable weaponized vehicles in the game. No other car comes close to the ground combat capabilities of the Toreador, making it the best PvP car in GTA Online in my humble opinion. The top speed is 135 miles an now are about 217 Ks, which momentarily increases when the boost is activated. The boost is a great way to dodge bullets and rockets if activated at the right time. But with the ability to tank 6 homing missiles, you won't have to worry about getting blown up in a single hit. The Toreador can take the oppressors, Deluxos and Scramjets and any other land vehicle. However, it does struggle when fighting against aircraft due to its limited lock-on angle. Either way, the Toreador is the go-to car for PvP in GTA 5 for those who refuse to give up the comfort of a vehicle. You can buy the Toreador for 4,250,000, which is another reason it's on the top of our list because it's worth every penny for both PvP and regular use. So these were my picks for the best cars for PvP in GTA Online. I made sure to rank the cars based on their PvP potential and their offensive and defensive capabilities. Now that you know that there are these cars that can counter the Mark II and even jets, you won't be forced to buy any other type of vehicle. Did I miss your favourite PvP car? Drop a comment below with your top picks or any questions you might have. Stay safe, wash your hands, and we'll see you in the next video.